Welcome back, everybody. Today's Thursday, May 8th, 2025. Born on this date in 1783, Alabama's second governor, Thomas Bibb. Now, he was the brother of Alabama's first governor, William Bibb. Thomas finished William's term of office after William was thrown from a horse and died. And in 1940, singer-songwriter and keyboardist, and for a while, the beach girl in the Beach Boys band, Toni Tennille of Montgomery. You might know her best as one half of Captain and Tennille. Let's talk about why a city is throwing out 58 felony cases, what Nick Saban's next gig might be, how much NEA money is being pulled from Sidewalk, and what's shaking in the waning days of the legislative session. My name's Ike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama.
The NBA playoffs are here, and I'm getting my bets in on FanDuel. Talk to me, Chuck GPT. What do you know?
All sorts of interesting stuff, even Charles Barkley's greatest fear.
Hey, nobody needs to know that.
New customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. 21 plus and present in Virginia. Must be first online real money wager. $5 deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Back in March, the Huntsville Police Department was disbanded by the city. A grand jury found the department had a, quote, culture of corruption. The police chief, 4 officers, and an officer's wife were arrested. Coleman County District Attorney Champ Crocker said that an audit of the department's evidence locker showed that evidence was missing. Allegations against those arrested include on-duty drug injections, misuse of criminal databases, and distribution of controlled substances, which raised the question, what about the cases involving all this allegedly compromised evidence? Well, AL.com's Patrick Darrington reports that the same grand jury that handed down the indictments reconvened last month and voted to dismiss 58 felony cases. Crocker said 249 packages of evidence, it's out of 650 filed by the department, had no associated case number. He said 30 of the 96 guns in the evidence room were undocumented. He said that 78 evidence bags had been torn open and that pills, meth, cocaine, and a pistol were missing. Huntsville Mayor Jim Sawyer has said that the city will rebuild the department from the ground up, and the city council has voted to begin that process. A former Alabama football coach and current ESPN analyst Nick Saban just might play a role in the new Presidential Commission on College Athletics, reports AL.com's William Thornton. Yahoo Sports reported that President Trump's commission will study the transfer portal, payments to players, employment status, revenue sharing, Title IX, TV contracts, conference alignments, and maybe more. Look for a presidential executive order soon. Well, now, last week, you remember the president was in Tuscaloosa and that Nick Saban spoke at the same event that he was at. Last week, the Wall Street Journal reported that Trump and Saban met while Trump was in town, and since then, the president has been considering such an executive order. The executive director of the Sidewalk Film Center and Cinema said this year's Sidewalk Film Festival is still on after a $25,000 federal grant was pulled, reports AL.com's Mary Clarso. Chloe Cook said Sidewalk's grant had been approved by this past fall, and then in January, the NEA gave Sidewalk permission to go ahead and announce the grant. But on May 2nd, an email notice went out from the NEA saying that funds were being terminated. Those emails came a few hours after President Trump proposed eliminating the NEA in the next budget. The film festival has a budget of $400,000, and Sidewalk has an overall budget of around $1.5 million. This year's festival is planned for August 18th through the 24th. It includes screenings of a couple hundred movies, panel discussions, and workshops. Cook said the sidewalk folks will be looking at ways to replace that $25,000 or find ways to trim that much in costs. Well, only 1 day's left in the 2025 Alabama legislative session, folks. Now, here's a rundown of some of the recent flurry of activity from Goat Hill. First, corrections on yesterday's story about hemp-derived products, such as beverages containing THC. Now, only retailers will be licensed by the ABC board, not manufacturers or wholesalers. And their tax rate will be 10%, not 7%. And we didn't get into this next part, but only the THC CBD beverages can be sold in grocery stores. Gummies and other products cannot. Now, these were all changes that were made to the bill on its way to final approval Tuesday. All right. Also, the Focus Act has passed both houses of the legislature and awaits the governor's pen. Now, this is the bill that will ban the use of cell phones in public school classrooms. And a bill to make Juneteenth a state holiday is also headed to the governor's desk. It's been a federal holiday since 2021, and Governor Kay Ivey has declared each June 19th to be recognized also by the state. But this bill will make it more permanent. And Governor Ivey has already signed a law to take the Birmingham Waterworks Board in a more regional direction, allowing suburban areas to have more power over the utility. Going forward, only 2 of the 7 members on the board will be from Birmingham. Previously, the city controlled 6 of 9 seats. A district judge earlier this week turned down the city's request for a restraining order to keep Ivey from signing this bill. And the governor also signed a measure allowing the Alabama Farmers Federation to offer a health care plan not subject to the same regulations as health insurance programs. Thank y'all for listening to us. We'll be back here again in the morning. Until then, y'all come by and see us anytime you want to on the internet at al.com.